Y'all keeping y'all's vision elite? Hope so. Y'all watching the games? Remember last video I told y'all that WNBA League Pass? It's worth getting. Sorry. Been trying to drink a little more hot tea. Out here in the South, allergies are crazy. But this video, I'm going to be talking about the Fever Minnesota Lynx game. I'm a day late, sorry. I apologize. My apologies. But anyway, Nafisa Collier coming back this game. We didn't have to deal with her last time, but she was definitely a difference maker. Gonna try to talk a little bit about what I thought about the game and what we need to do to turn things around. I came in. I don't know how many of y'all came into this game like this. Hopefully, I have people that are not Fever fans and Fever fans coming and watching this video. I love having people that don't agree with me and agree with me here. I came in this game thinking, man, we just beat the brakes off the Storm. We're going to come into this game. We're going to be ready to assert ourselves as a top-tier team. We're getting the flow, and it just didn't happen. But this is what I'll take away. I don't know how many of you thought this way, but from the beginning of the season, if this game had happened, I see us losing this game by about 30 points. I mean, once we started getting down about 15 or more points, we just would usually lose it in the beginning of the season. It would just avalanche out of control, and we would just get blown off the court. But this time, we hung in, and we kept it at 10. We lost by 10. So, I mean, like I said, their biggest lead was 15 points, and we could have easily just said, chalked it up to, oh, we're just having a bad game, but no, we fought. We kept fighting. We just, our 3-point shooting wasn't there. I mean, we looked like the old school Golden State Warriors with Clay and Steph in their prime, and Durant and everybody just like draining threes last game, and it just wasn't meant to be that way this game. I mean, you can't win many games, the Fever shot 7 of 29 from the 3-point line. That's 24%. The Lynx shot, 11 of 27. So, I mean, they took 2 less 3-point attempts, but hit 4 more than we did. So, I mean, they shot 40%. We shot 24%. So, right around 15% better than us. So, and there was a huge free throw discrepancy. I mean, the Fever only got to the line enough times to take 8 free throws. Fever had 8 free throws attempts that game. Minnesota shot 20. Now, I'm not going to be the guy that says, oh, the refs were against us. I don't know. I mean, there was some, the officiating looked like it was going to be bad right from the get-go. I mean, right when they didn't miss that backcourt call right at the beginning of the game when Minnesota went backcourt with the ball, but I don't want to be that guy. But I mean, they just passed the ball better than we did. They had 27 assists to our 16. They had 11 more assists. We weren't moving the ball like we can usually do. We out-rebounded. Indiana out-rebounded Minnesota 40-27, and you would usually think if you have that much of a rebounding advantage, you're going to win that game, but we just weren't efficient. I mean, Minnesota shot 50% from the field. We shot 43. Indiana shot 43%. I keep saying we. I really want to be non-biased in these situations when I talk about ball, but I mean, second chance points, we only had 9. Minnesota had 15. fast break points were pretty even. There wasn't much fast break points. But the turnovers, we did have 16 turnovers. Clark accounted for 7 of them. Minnesota only had 10. So, we turned the ball over more. We shot worse. That's just some of the ingredients for a loss, except for the rebounding. Caitlin Clark did have 8 assists, though. She's staying consistent with her assists. She had 5 rebounds, and I think it was 23 points, because everybody was talking about how she had the same amount of points as Maya Moore's jersey. They were like, is that a conspiracy? Did she do that on purpose? Don't know, don't care. Aaliyah Boston, she rebounded. She just didn't have her usual scoring game. She just wasn't... We just weren't hitting those shots, those easy shots that we were usually hitting last game. Aaliyah Boston... Here, let me bring up the box score for the Fever so y'all can see it too, for those of you who didn't watch the game and didn't get to see the stats. Alyssa Smith only played 10 minutes. It looks like her minutes are kind of dropping. Alyssa Smith only scored 2. We usually won when she scored in double figures, but Timmy's Fag Benlay came back and she took a lot of those minutes. And Dantas took a lot of those minutes too. Dantas took 17 minutes, but getting back to the box score, Katie Lou, 0 points. Alyssa Smith, 2 points. Those are 2 people that were usually scorers for us, non-contributors this game. Aaliyah Boston, 10. But she did have 15 rebounds, a double-double, but she had 4 turnovers. And you really don't want to see a high number of turnovers from your post, since they're not the main ball handlers. But she did have a double-double, which was good. And she shot 45% from the field, right at the bottom of the field goal percentage of a post player. But she's not really your typical post player. She's more of a, they're like a high post screen and roll with Caitlin. And, she usually makes the decision to pass the ball a lot, which I like. I want us to become I want the Fever to become a really good passing team. Because that's when they play their best, is when the ball moving and the ball's just flying around the court. And that's what they did against Seattle in their last game. And they seemed to be open every time. Kelsey Mitchell, she had 21, 2 steals, 3 assists. She's starting to get assists at least consistently. That's what I said a while back in one of my videos before. If Kelsey Mitchell would start getting 5 assists a game to go along with Caitlin Clark's 9, 10 assists a game, that's where I think they could take that next step, because Kelsey is so quick. She can penetrate and get people open. And Lexi Hull, if she gets open, she can hit it. We have people that can hit it when they're open. Caitlin and Kelsey, they can both get to the rim, and they can dish, and they can get people open. But yeah, Kelsey, 21 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. She shot well from the field, 47% from the field, 8 of 17. Just, one more shot, she would have been above 50%. But the 3-pointers is what killed the Kelsey. She was 2 of 10 from behind the arc, and that's, like I said before, that's what killed us, is just the lack of 3-point shooting. Kelsey was 2 for 10, shooting 20% from 3, and we usually don't see that. She's been shooting 50% as of late. Caitlin Clark shot 3 of 8 from the 3 though, so she shot around 40. Not gonna say 40. I don't want y'all to say I'm trying to inflate her numbers. She shot 37% from the 3-point line and hit all her free throws. So she had a good shooting game, and she dished the ball out. She had 5 rebounds, 23 points. She's staying right above 20 points or more lately. I think she's finding a rhythm where she's going to be scoring 20 points in her sleep, and pretty soon she's going to be getting 20 points and 10 assists every game. It's going to be a wrap. She's going to be doing that every game pretty soon. Uh, got Fagbenle back. I liked her contribution. 4 points, 5 rebounds. She hit 2 of her 4 shots. Let's see. Just had 1 turnover. She did good off the bench, and I think once she gets her rhythm back, when Fagbenle gets her rhythm back, her speed running up and down the court with Caitlin, I mean, we saw that early in the season, even when people were saying Caitlin was struggling. But Fagbenle was one of Caitlin's favorite targets because she ran the court so well. So I think once she gets back in the rhythm, this team's gonna be different. This team's gonna be a beast when they get in the when they get in the playoffs, and they're not too far behind the Mercury. I think they're gonna jump the Mercury. But Fagbenle's gonna be, when she gets her rhythm back, it's gonna be lights out. Lexi Hull still shot good from the field. I mean, she's still her game from last game translated into this game. She didn't take as many, but she's still 4 of 5 from the field, 2 of 3 from behind the arc. I mean, she's still contributing. She's becoming more of a shooter. She was struggling for a while, but her defense, she's like that little pest on defense. I mean, you can't help but smile when you see her play, man. She's got a smile on her face all the time. I think her and Katie Lou, their personality helps keep Caitlin, cheerful out there too. Just Lexi Hull I think she just uplifts everybody, and when she's going, this team can get going. But she had 10 points. She's the defender, and she's kind of like I'm a Spurs fan, so I have to use analogies with the Spurs. She's kind of like a Bruce Bowen. Like, she's that gnat on defense, but if you can just get her that open 3, she can hit it. Like, Bruce Bowen was a killer from the corner from 3. And I think she's a killer, too, from 3 when they get going. Because they kind of, the defenses kind of forget a little bit about her when Kelsey and Caitlin have the ball. And Lexi and Fagbenle can be those X factors for sure. I mean, when Lexi was out there, I mean, truthfully, she was a plus out there. Dantas, I do like Dantas. Don't get me wrong. I like Damaris out there. She took too many threes. She can hit them. I mean, I've seen people saying in some of the Discord, like, "Oh, why is she taking it?" She's knocked down some of those long threes. She was off tonight. She should have took 2 or so, and maybe thought, maybe I need to back off the threes a little bit and just keep the ball moving. I think that kind of killed the flow of the game. Dantas did kind of kill the flow of the game this game. She did have 4 rebounds and 2 assists, though. She's a passer. I like that the bigs on the Fever can pass the ball. Boston, Dantas, because I mean, Boston last game, she almost had a triple double, but Dantas 2 assists, 2 turnovers, but 4 rebounds. She had 8 points. She had 8 points, so she did get on the scoreboard. She hit 4 of 10 from the field, but the 0 of 5 from 3 is, that's what killed the whole team. Not Dantas, but our 3-point shooting. Katie Lou was 0 for 2. Lexi and Caitlin are the only ones that shot over 35%. Erica Wheeler, her limited time, she got 2 points and 1 assist in her 7 minutes, I think it was. Yeah, 7 minutes. But the missed threes, the turnovers. We did have 6 more turnovers. I mean, it don't sound like a lot, but it can make a difference. Turnovers aren't just loss of possession. I mean, that's what it is technically. But one turnover can swing a game. And it can knock a flow out. Like, thankfully, Caitlin, a lot of her turnovers are from... she's taking risks. She does take risks, and sometimes she does some bad turnovers. But she makes a lot of assists and a lot of plays to swing the momentum back to us. So, but, I mean, Dantas, she didn't have like a ton of turnovers, but her 0 for 5 from 3 and her taking the threes kind of killed the flow of what Indiana's all about. But I think that's really one of the bad games Dantas has had with us. I mean, I really like Dantas. I like her. I think she can be a big part of us. I mean, she's strong down low. She can be a presence, but Nafisa Collier is just a different animal. I mean, she's just very athletic, very skillful, strong rebounder, strong scorer. And saying that, let's go on to the Lynx. The Lynx had 5 people in double figures, 3 people with at least 15 points. Nafisa Collier, an MVP type game. But let's go ahead and go through these. Bridget Carlton, 16 points, 4 of 6 from behind the arc, and that's going to be a theme. People shooting pretty accurate from 3. Nafisa Collier, Bridget Carlton still 16 points, 4 assists, and that's where they killed us too. They were moving the ball like we thought we would. 16 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Just 2 turnovers. She's had 2 steals, so she was playing defense as well. She shot 4 6 from behind the arc, 60% from the field. Nafisa Collier, she's the main one. Second person I'm talking about with the Lynx, she shot 60% from the field. Our defense wasn't putting enough pressure on them, on their offense. I mean, she took 18 shots and hit 12 of them. So she shot close to 70% from the field. She was only 1 of 4 from the 3. But, I mean, when you shoot 66% overall, I mean, that's not as bad. She's not the strongest free throw shooter, at least in this game. She only hit a little over half her free throws, 54% from the free throw line. So that was a blessing. Didn't want to see an extra 5 points on that lead from them. But, yeah, she had 31 points, 5 rebounds. We did keep her off the boards. In her last game, I think she had 18 or something. She had like 15 or more rebounds. So we kept her. We did a good job of keeping her off the offensive boards. She only had 2 offensive rebounds. But yeah, 31 points, definitely a killer. MVP talks. Alana Smith, she didn't contribute in the points department, but she had 5 assists, helped the ball keep moving for Minnesota. Like I said, they were moving the ball way better than we did. They were 27 assists to 15. Kayla McBride, the 4-point play. I mean, she was staying consistent from her 3. She was 4 of 10. She's a high volume 3-point shooter, but when you're shooting 40%, 4 of 10 is good when you're shooting 3s. So she was 40% from 3. She was 40% from the field. And she had 19 points. 19 points, 4 assists. I've only talked about 4 people. 3 out of the 4 had at least 4 assists so far. 3 rebounds, only 2 turnovers. Courtney Williams, 6 assists, 10 points, 4 rebounds, just 3 turnovers, 55% from the field. So I've talked about 5 people, the starting lineup. Out of the starting lineup, 4 out of the 5 people in the starting lineup shot at least 40%. And the person who didn't shoot 40% didn't even take a shot. And, they got Natisha Heidemann. She had 10. She's a defender. They just play great defense. I mean, they're one of the top defensive teams in the league. So, Kelsey and Caitlin Indiana had their they had a tough go against one of the best defensive teams in the league. And Minnesota's going to be a team that's going to be contending for that championship. They're going to be one of the teams that's looked at as one of the top contenders for it. And I think Indiana can too once they just really get in the groove of everything. But I mean, we got to either get the calls or get more aggressive going to the hole. But back to the fever, I mean, I'll take 3 of 8 from 3 from Caitlin and 8 of 18. I mean, she shot over 40% around 45% from the field and 37 from 3. So definitely take that. It's not the signature 27 point 13 assist game from Caitlin, but we'll take that as a, I mean, if that can be her baseline, I'll definitely be happy with that. Going to the other stats, I mean, the biggest lead Minnesota had was 15. I mean, I really believe if this had been the beginning of the season, we would have lost this game by 30, but we've matured and we've learned how to settle things down and just keep fighting. Because, I mean, we had so many games that we just let get away really fast. And I think we did a good job. I think we're starting to be completely healthy, and we're gonna be a lot stronger as the season goes on. We're going to the playoffs. And I really think I think the Fever are going to jump the Mercury. I'm calling it. I may be wrong on that one. This one, I'm trying to just have a positive outlook on this one. I really think Fever are going to jump the Mercury. I don't think Caitlin's going to keep having like 7 turnovers. I think Caitlin's going to cut it down to where she's just usually having 4 to 5 turnovers. I mean, Caitlin's breaking ankles. I mean, I've heard people say, "Oh, she don't have handles." She has handles. I've seen her break 3 ankles so far this season. She can handle the ball. The times when she gets hit with the turnovers is when she. I mean, her players sometimes her teammates are getting better at catching the ball. So it's not that much anymore. It's just when she gets blitzed, sometimes she doesn't time that pass when they blitz her. When she's doing the screen and roll with Boston, they'll hit her with that blitz, and if she don't time that pass right, she'll get that turnover. But yeah, I mean, like, we had 16 turnovers to Minnesota's 10. That hurt us definitely. But overall, I think they showed a lot of grit to not let it be a blowout. I think the mixing up of the lineup changes. I mean, sometimes when you have that flow that's working, you kind of need to stick with it. Right now, I mean, like, just kind of edge Fagbenle back in a little slower, possibly. I think that would have helped, because I mean, we kind of knocked off our rhythm. I mean, we had a rhythm with Seattle, and all the changes in the lineup, the amount of time each person plays, like taking away Smith's. I mean, maybe Smith's on the way out the door. I heard some rumors about something about her brother wanting her to be traded or something. So that may be coming down the pipe. Hopefully we get something really good for her, because I think Smith's still a strong player. She's a good rebounder. She has a nice touch around the rim. Maybe we can get something really good for her. Katie Lou's minutes went down. Alyssa Smith's minutes went down. And Hull's minutes went up. Fagbenle's minutes were up. Dantas' minutes were up. Dantas and Fagbenle, they combined for 33 minutes. They each played over 15 minutes. Both of them played more than Katie Lou and Alyssa. Lexi Hull played more than Smith and Samuelson. Dantas played more than Katie Lou and Samuelson. Katie Lou and Smith and Alyssa. So I think maybe they're setting up the lineup for the long run. They're like, hey, well, let's change the lineup right now and let it catch its. Let's get our rhythm with this new lineup setup, and then this will be the lineup that takes us for a deep playoff run. I don't know. I mean, y'all can let me know what y'all think in the comments, because I really need y'all to like, comment, and subscribe, please. I would love to be able to do this every day. Just come and talk basketball and talk sports, because I am going to be doing football when football season starts, with the extra focus on the Falcons, but I will try to keep up with all the stuff with NFL, the main games and stuff like that, and big performances. Yeah, man, that was a hurt. That loss hurt last night. I think Smith's gonna be gone next year. Not sure about Katie Lou. I think Lexi Hull's finding her rhythm with the team because her minutes went up really high. We'll probably lose Saxton, Berger, and Wallace. Hopefully, what we need. Kelsey Mitchell did good against. Oh God, I just totally lost. Hang on 1 second. 1 second. The girl off the Storm. I hate when I'm talking about one subject and I totally forget like something that I shouldn't forget, you know? Hang on 1 second. Why did I forget her name? Jewel Lloyd. Oh my gosh. The shot chucker. Yeah, man. Jewel Lloyd. I mean, Kelsey did a decent job against Jewel. Jewel still scored a lot, but I think she made her work. But we just don't have that defensive stopper. We need, Caitlin's getting better at defense. I don't want to hear none of this. Oh, she's horrible at defense. No, she's not. She's above average. She gets blocks, steals, deflections. She works really. She's become a smarter defensive player and a more aggressive defensive player as the season's gone on. Her ball handling has become elite. But we just need that defensive player. We did have one earlier in the season. I forgot her name. She didn't get really any playing time. But we need a defensive player. There's somebody on Seattle I wouldn't mind. I'd love to get Nneka Gumake. She'd be good with the team. I listened to some other content creators. They've thrown around players that we could get. But I think we have some. We just don't have the height down low. I know it's not going to happen. And I know in my last video I talked her up. Man, I wish we had a Cardoso to play alongside Boston. Put Boston at power forward, Cardoso at center. Cardoso is going to be like the next Tim Duncan in the WNBA. She is. She's got nice touch. And I'm going to talk about the game in the next video, but I just watched the Aces and the Sky. She looks good. She had 5 blocks, man. She was taking it to... She had Asia rattled in that first half. Asia shot horrible. She's like the defensive anchor and the most skillful post player they have. So I wish we could have got Cardoso. I wish we could somehow make something work. We got like a Cardoso, but it's probably not gonna. That's not gonna happen. But I guess that's all I got for today. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Like I said, I'm not getting enough comments that I'm getting overwhelmed yet. So I'll definitely make sure to reply or leave something back. I think I've left a reply to every comment I've gotten so far. But anyway, I hope y'all get the WNBA League Pass. I don't know. Don't get it now because the season's halfway over. You can. It's not that expensive. But the cool thing about the WNBA League Pass, if you miss a game, like say you weren't able to get back to the TV in time, you can just go back and they'll have the replay of the game. And it takes out the commercials too, which is wonderful. I love, you'll watch it and when they have the part where it's going to be commercials, it just skips right back to the game. But anyway, until next video, I think my next video is going to have to be about the Aces and Sky game. That game was killer, man. Kennedy Carter, man, she's an MVP. I know her stats aren't good right now because in the beginning she didn't get as much playing time and as much play, but oh man, Kennedy Carter, she's clutch. But I'm not much a fan of her attitude or anything like that. But she's good. But anyway, all right. Well, till next time, please like, subscribe, and comment. Help me get up there to at least... I want to someday celebrate 100 subscribers. Just help me out with the algorithm. But Keep your vision elite. And I'll catch y'all on the flippity flop.